All right, so okay, guards are paid off. They're good.
Yep, guards are paid off. They all got like $250,000. They're not gonna be here.
All right, perfect. And what about like the cloths? Did you
Yeah. So we found we gave her some mattress like quilts a couple days ago. So they're supposed to be in there. We fashioned a noose out of them. She'll get it in a couple minutes.
Okay, good. Body double, is that good?
Yeah. So she's out, and we got some new chick. She's Italian. She looks just like her. No one's gonna guess.
All right, perfect. All right, and after party at Little St. Jeff's, all right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have lots of hot dogs and cheese pizza there. We're gonna have a grand old time.
And that was kind of dark.
and I'm kind of Steve.
And I'm pretty much Tom.
And this is Demagogue News with things you need to know about. You need to know about them. Episode 40, the big 40.
Finally hit it.
Who knew we'd get here? 40 episodes.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd make it to 29. Didn't know like we'd make it to 40.
I mean, like it's been like 7 months straight.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Because most podcasts don't make it past the 9th episode. So definitely
fuck yeah, we have
made it past 40. Well, pat 240.
Yeah, we've almost 5 times as much as the weak podcasts out there. We're at the Chadcast. That's us. What do we got today, Tom?
So
just truckloads.
Yeah, we've got truckloads of shit ranging from the quote unquote pandemic to elitist pedophiles to Oklahoma becoming half a state.
God, yeah. We got terrible governors in places. We got our Nevada governor being crappy.
We got the culture war still raging.
Got the culture war. We got incidents from around the United States.
Like, holy crap.
We got a lot. We probably forget one that we just said in the intro. We'll forget one. I'm sure.
Something. I guess we could go off at the cold open then with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell, who isn't getting primetime television. Remember when Jeffrey was arrested?
Oh, yeah. Dude,
everyone was off their fucking rockers. Jeffrey guy fucking in his island, and there's a temple on it, and it's white and blue, just like Islamic temples. And there's all those other things that are crazy. Now it's like, who? How do you say your name?
Yeah, it's like just like. Anyway, let's go back to coronavirus.
Yeah, it's wild. So what's new with her, Ghislaine? Ghislaine.
A refresher for anybody who hasn't been tuning in regularly. She was the main point person for Jeffrey Epstein's little, sex trafficking
small
pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it's small.
She was the main recruiter. It's always works. Murderers have used the same technique where females feel more comfortable in the presence of another female, so their guard is down.
Yeah, so they're able to be brought into the fold by a woman instead of a man.
Yeah, I actually binged the entirety of Filthy Rich on Netflix, which is about this. It's actually pretty fucking disgusting how they were able to...
It's not a happy ending?
No, there's no happy ending. You just watch a whole bunch of, these are kids get their lives fucking ruined systematically.
Over and over and over.
Yeah.
Again and over the years, again and again and again.
Yeah, they were particularly, targeting... girls with low self-esteem who had suffered abuse. These were
low-hanging fruit.
What?
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, they were. And they were paying them lots of money to just the fact that they lured them in with oh yeah, these old. All you got to do is massage this old dude, and he'll pay you $200.
Man, $200. I'll need $5,000.
I mean, this was in the 90s/early 2000s.
Okay, maybe $200 might be pretty decent.
Yeah,
to a 15-year-old.
Yeah. This is
14-year-old.
These girls were 14 through 16, 17.
So $200 buy you a lot of cool shit when you're 16.
A lot of them were runaways, so they really needed that money.
Food, money, shelter, yeah.
So Ghislaine, unfortunately, is the last major link since Jeffrey, quote unquote, killed himself.
As we all believe in, rightfully, as do our people tell us to obey.
Yes. So with Ghislaine, anybody who's been ride or die on the Epstein train lately knows that she has mounds and mounds of dirt on the most powerful people in the world.
From what I understand, from what I've heard, the entirety of the island, Little St. James Island, had microphones and cameras everywhere.
Yes, every bathrooms.
And so that means that went to a server somewhere, and it means it's somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got it.
Yeah, somebody which if she makes it to trial, when is that trial?
Fucking tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, July 14th.
Yeah, if she makes it to trial, I would love to hear. It's gonna be pre-sentencing. I mean, they're I don't know how much of the formalities have been done yet, but there is a pre-sentencing where they go through what you are, You're going to file guilty, not guilty, all this kind of shit. I don't think the goods are going to be revealed tomorrow. No.
That's a good first step.
Right. But it's the court system is doing its thing as the court system.
Plenty of celebrities pictured with both Maxwell and Epstein.
Many, including our darling dear boy, Orange Man.
Orange Man, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton.
Many times. A lot of Bill Clinton and a lot of Hillary.
Yeah, a lot of Hillary Clinton. Prince Andrew.
Many big celebrities, like you would be surprised, there's a picture of him with Epstein. You know, like holding the shoulder, like posing for a smile. There's a lot. And I think like the number one thing that's come out is that apparently 4 other women are now indicted for this whole thing. Because it wasn't just Ghislaine.
Oh, no.
She was the favorite. She was the girlfriend.
Yeah, she was the point person.
The madam.
She was.
That's the madam of Jeffrey Epstein. But yeah, 4 other women are accused of helping to procure and groom the girls for Jeffrey Epstein. Now, in this article, it doesn't say if it's just for him or for other people. Maybe
he did procure
for other people,
for other celebrities.
But it doesn't say if these women were specifically in that. But
I mean, Ghislaine was definitely.
She did she's the numero uno.
Yeah.
She's the right hand man.
She personally selected them for Prince Andrew.
Right, which is fucked.
Yeah.
Because he's still walking free.
Oh yeah, the British royal family harboring a pedophile.
Yeah, among other secrets that the British royal family has. The numero uno that we give a fuck about right now is fucking Prince Andrew. I be diddling some kids.
He also, his interview is fucking abysmal with BBC, saying things because the Virginia Roberts, the woman who says, she actually got a picture with him and Ghislaine, so there's evidence that the 3 of them were in the same place at the same time at least once.
All that matters is once.
Yeah, and he's saying things like, oh, well, I was at the Pizza Express with my daughter that night, and I don't know how that picture exists because I don't remember it. And even, like...
Why would you ever remember incriminating evidence? I don't know shit about nothing, bro. I've never heard of a camera in my life.
He also says that he had a genetic deficiency because in the story, Virginia says that he was, like, dancing around her and like was sweating all over her and it was gross, and he's saying, oh well, I actually have a genetic deficiency which made it impossible for me to like sweat back then.
You can't sweat?
Yeah, he said not back then.
Diaphoresis, the act of sweating, if you can't sweat you die pretty quick. I don't think you can have a thing of not sweating.
Yeah, well, he was certainly sweating it on this interview.
Yeah, I bet. Jesus.
So Ghislaine, she's being made to wear like paper clothes so that she can't turn it into a noose.
Yeah, I hope they're on full suicide watch because the last time you fucked up pretty good. That didn't go great.
Yeah. So I don't know if people fall for this one. We're all like dumb. We're all the blind being.
We are the blindest. We are the most sheepiest people on the history of ever. Like there couldn't be anything worse.
Yeah.
Everything's out there. Then, they disappeared. Oh, well, I guess they disappeared.
And then everybody just drops it.
Whatever. I mean, it was interesting. On to the Orange Man. On to the next. More important news is coming up next. Yeah. More on this article is that apparently in the last, I believe it's about a year, since Jeffrey's been arrested, she is bounced around 36 separate locations all around the world to escape arrest. So she was hopping around pretty much every other week. A little more than every other week, she had found a new place to stay for the next week. That must have sucked. Being on the run, like she had $1 million. She had all the money in the world. But having to hop like that, always like looking behind your shoulder, that had to suck.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she got lots of heads up before authorities came. It was the same thing with Epstein. Like he removed like his computer hard drives from his mansion before it got raided by police.
Of course it did. Yeah.
So definitely like keep your eyes peeled on Maxwell, because this is big league shit.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be the thing. Like tomorrow's gonna be an interesting day. We're gonna find out a lot. You know what is interesting? The fucking coronavirus.
Boo.
That might be the most boring thing in the history of ever right now.
I mean, we're obligated to cover it, but
as a news agency, we must always talk about the elephant in the room.
So let's get down with a few nitty-gritty numbers. Right now, the state of Louisiana has the highest per capita cases.
Louisiana? Not French Quarter.
Yeah, right. Like our favorite, New Orleans. Um, Pittsburgh has an outbreak, which I'm kind of sad about that. And a lot of good memories in Pittsburgh. But one of the weird trends that we're starting to see, though, which they don't talk about on the news, is that it's probably linked to the states where we're seeing the biggest hikes is due to air conditioning. If you live in a hot state, and you're
This
stuck
was like the most
inside-
clever thing that he said in a while. That is like it's such an easy observation. Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Louisiana,
Georgia,
Florida. It's hot as dick there right now. Yesterday was like pretty painfully hot.
Oh yeah,
Like I believe at McCarran it was 117.
holy shit.
That's rough because it's not as hot at the airport. It's like that's hot. So what did you do? Not go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck no.
Like, where do we not see a big rise? Colorado opened at the same time as Georgia, and I think they've seen a 42% drop in cases.
Yeah, and right now Colorado, like it's probably a little muggy, but it's
Yeah.
probably great to be outside in Breckenridge and Denver.
Pretty
feels
nice
great.
place. Like,
Pretty
it's
nice.
nice in the summer.
Yeah, feels good to be outside. Just like how we like all these southwestern and southern states. About a month ago, weather was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, like in May when we were reopening.
Right,
everybody
and it was pretty decent. Not a lot of problems outside. Now that it's super hot, everyone goes back inside. And what happened to New York with their new coronavirus cases? They found that 60% of all the new cases were all from people that were perfectly social distancing, aka staying inside.
Mm-hmm. And you got to think, like a lot of people in New York are in apartments with centralized AC.
So with everybody breathing the same air, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of properties in Texas.
Yeah.
A lot of space. They like Phoenix is the same as Vegas, but we like to spread out. You got a house, I got a house. Get the fuck away from me.
And that's why, you'll see Texas has the same population as like New York and New Jersey combined with a mere fraction of the cases.
Right, but it has the same amount of people.
Yeah.
So per capita, it's way low
Mm.
compared to, the dumpster fire that was New York, New Jersey in the beginning of this.
Yeah.
It was wild to hear.
And speaking of New York, to see how media twists narratives, New York is being praised for having their first day without a new COVID case, except for the fact that if you think about it, everybody who is at risk is probably dead in New York.
Or they got over it.
Yeah.
Or they beat it. Because at this point now, I think I've read somewhere that the reason that it's so scary in Arizona is that they were doing these certain tests, random tests to estimate the density of how much coronavirus is in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying 1 in 5 people have the Rona.
In Arizona, really?
Yeah, 1 in 5.
Wow.
So if it's 1 in 5 in Arizona now, what was it in New York 2 months ago? Every other?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
no. Come on. Arizona's 1 in 5. I don't think so.
And when New York was at its peak, testing wasn't as prevalent as it is now.
That's my favorite thing right now is that it's becoming so bad. We have out-tested almost every country combined.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like the big hitter ones like China and the UK, they've done a lot of testing. But everybody else, we have done more than all of them combined. So we've done more than the other third of the rest of the population of the Earth, the 2/3 of the population of the Earth, and we have the most.
Well, because we're the best.
And we've done the most tests, and we don't have that many people, and like we're the third largest country in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but number 1 in tests. How's India doing? Brazil's not doing great?
Mm-mm.
Brazil's like number 3 right now, isn't it?
But their testing probably rather low.
So that means that the percentage rate of hits is that much higher?
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to lie with statistics, though.
It's easy to lie with numbers. Yeah, you can't make the not truth, but you can lie. Fucking easy as shit.
Yeah. And speaking of lying in coronavirus, I wouldn't call this a lie, but Trump and Fauci are having a little beef right now where...
No, it's not Fauci.
Yeah, Trump said that, Dr. Fauci is a great guy, but he's made a lot of mistakes, which, Fauci did overshoot a lot of the numbers.
I think that they were soft serving it. I think they were hard serving it.
Yeah, they were.
Because if everybody could deal with 2 million deaths, oh well, this is a walk in the park then. If they sold them on like, oh yeah, This is gonna be bad. So you better buckle up, Buttercup. And everyone went like, okay, I'm buckling up. Well, then now it's okay. It's easy now. It's only 100,000.
You expected a lot worse, as opposed to what we ended up getting. And Fauci's gone back and forth on mask wearing, and I think it illustrates. I don't think Fauci did it intentionally.
That's the one thing I get to though.
Really,
is when it comes to this because the WHO's gone back and forth.
Yeah.
But in the very beginning, he says that you don't need to wear a mask, and the intent was lying is all about intent.
Mm-hmm.
You can say the same statement the same way, and it could be a truth and a lie, just on the way the intent was put forward. Don't wear masks because you don't have to wear masks. It's not relevant to wear masks. The people who should wear masks are people that are in the thick of it with the coronavirus. Like everyone's surrounded by them. It's all corona because they're the nurse. They need the mask.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Won't wear masks. Now it's you must wear a mask. Well, why didn't we wear masks? Oh, we didn't want to run out for hospitals.
Okay, that's fair. You got me on that. He definitely did it intentionally to sort of hoard the masks.
Now, was that a good thing though?
See, that's the question.
Was that a net positive at the end of the day?
Because now the WHO said you should only wear a mask now if you're caring for a COVID patient,
which is how masks work to begin with.
It's just continues to illustrate that despite all of this, we are still relatively in the dark about COVID.
And our experts don't know dick about shit, just a little bit more than we do.
They do,
and they're definitely smarter than us. They're definitely scientists in laboratories doing tests. But hold on, we can't figure out if you do or don't wear a mask. We're not 100% sure on it yet, because it keeps going back and forth.
But trust the experts.
But trust the experts. No, and who you should really trust? Your locally elected person. That's who you should really trust. They know more than all of us.
Oh, and don't they ever?
Don't they ever? Just like here in the good old envy of Nevada, we have one of the greatest governors.
Yeah. So in our last recording, Steve and I ended it by going out, and
because the bar's all closed.
Yeah, just in time for my birthday, so I was excited about that. We were there for the last call in Las Vegas for a while.
Yep, pretty much.
Here's the weird thing, and Steve brought this up, when we were talking before the recording. The bars are closed, but there are certain areas of these casinos, hotels that are still packed, shoulder to shoulder.
Oh, they're pretty well decently packed, and at that certain point, what is the real purpose of closing down a certain establishment and keeping another one open? Because I know for a fact, Nevada as a whole, Las Vegas needs casinos for economic prosperity, but no human on earth has ever needed a casino. No one's ever needed, we need it in Las Vegas for our economic benefit, but we don't need casinos.
It's not it's not one of your basic needs.
No. And by that side too, we don't need bars.
Yeah.
But we do need gyms. We do need elective medicine. We do need a lot of things that were closed down this time around. We do need restaurants. We do need places to congregate. Now we congregate smartly, socially distanced, maybe, sure. But to close them down and let others reap the benefits, because guess what? If I really wanted to go out right now, I'm going to a casino. Because me and my 5 friends can be served by a cocktail waitress, and we can get that kind of level of service again.
Very true.
But now my local spot I used to go to, that's a small business, now gets nothing. What is that?
Again, it's pretty par for the course with the Rona. It's just
pretty par for the course. Rona only in small businesses. It's only in small businesses.
But support small businesses, even though we're shutting them down.
And they can't sell anything for you to buy.
That's always a good one. And we're bitching it right now, but it could be worse. We could be living in California.
Yeah, California just now. It's a pretty breaking news thing. They have Gavin Newsom is the ringleader of shutting things down. I think I think that might be his favorite thing to do.
He loves it, dude. He
loves it. Here in Nevada, we can still go get restaurant food, but we just can't go to the restaurant. In select counties, which is many, I believe it's 29 counties in California, Basically they're back to full zero.
Yep.
Nothing open. All indoor and outdoor restaurants must close. All bars, wineries, including Gavin Newsom's, basically everything great is all closed in California. Again, why would people stay in California? If you lived in California and had a job that didn't require you to go to an office, why would you want to go back?
Like, pay all those taxes for what? Like, what
For
do you get
what?
back?
What do you get? What's the positive? The beach? What if you don't like the beach?
I mean, the beach is cool too,
But many people in California don't like the beach. They like California for other things. They like the people and the life and the lime. Like, but now you get nothing. And other states are frolicking in the sun, like Florida.
Yeah, which still isn't closed.
Which still isn't closed.
Thank you, Ron DeSantis. Now my favorite governor in the country.
My favorite governor of all time. Why would you be in California? If you had one of the elusive tech jobs in Silicon Valley, made like $140 a year, doing your fucking cool thing for Tesla or Facebook, why would you go back? And why would Facebook stay in California?
They've got to have some sort of deal with the
There
government.
must be something that must be more positive than leaving to go somewhere else.
Them, Amazon. You know, we watched it publicly with Tesla's was like very out in the open.
Yeah, Elon like entertained the idea of going somewhere else, and that buckled the knee of a couple politicians who went, "Oh, I'm sorry, I totally forgot about tax revenue. I'm so sorry, Mr. Musk. I apologize. Would you like anything? Can I do anything for you? Can I please? I don't. Please. We gotta be friends."
So that's, there's a few holdouts with, most states. By most, I would say it's about like half of them have reneged on the reopening plan. So they've either stagnated or gone back.
I think it's about right.
Yeah.
Not many places are advancing right now in this summertime spike, as they call it. Which I think I do remember. They said that it will go away in the summertime because of the sun.
Yeah, that's what they said. But, if you listen to Joe Rogan interview Brett Weinstein, there's a lot of signs that this thing was developed in a laboratory, considering how easily it spreads inside.
So it doesn't even matter whether it's summertime or not.
No.
Yeah. But people stay inside for the AC in the summertime, so that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, coronavirus.
Yeah, that was my least favorite part of the episode. But let's go back to something spicier.
Right, let's go something fun.
Because, we were talking about, Nevada and California. We're going to move over to the home of the Tiger King, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, my friends. You may have seen it, you may not have. Who knows what's on the fucking news nowadays. But basically, 4/10 of Oklahoma has disappeared overnight.
In a Supreme Court ruling. What was wasn't it about an original treaty?
I believe it was Gratz?
McGirt.
McGirt, that's what it was. McGirt v. Oklahoma. It was, I believe, a court case that started in 1993 about jurisdiction in a certain area because McGirt's lawyer, his attorney, found that there was discrepancies in these old treaties that were done in the Civil War. These are very old, but these are the foundations of what our reservations were during, like the Trail of Tears, the moving of Native Americans to different areas and the bestowing of reservations. I mean, it was a pittance, and we stole a lot of their shit.
Yeah, we gave them shitty land.
Yeah, and we took the cool land that was nice and said, "Hey, fuck off and go over here, and we'll and then if you go here, we'll leave you the fuck alone." That was basically the deal.
Yeah. And
there's been discrepancy in a couple treaties that basically made it so Oklahoma didn't actually own this entire area that was originally land of the Choctaw tribe and a couple others. And our Republican Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch is like, "Yeah, that makes sense. In fact, I'm gonna spearhead this." The fuck, Neil? Like, you're first Chaz. Now a massive chunk of Oklahoma.
It's ridiculous that this guy, a Trump appointee, just like bite the hand that feeds.
We got to give the entirety of Florida back to Spain.
Are they going to give it back to the indigenous people of Spain, like the Miami?
Probably not, because Spain don't give a fuck. But Spain founded Florida.
They
So
did. It was there.
shouldn't we give it back to Spain?
I mean, if so, I would move there just so I can then move to Spain.
Oh, would you be dual citizen if you're in Spanish Florida at the time of the
That'd be pretty
ratification?
cool. I would take that.
I would take that. Get
Sounds
dual
pretty
citizen, become a
awesome.
Spanish citizen, and then go move to Catalonia.
Oh man, that's a dream.
Ooh, that's
Sounds
pretty good.
beautiful.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you might. We might start recording in Catalonia depending on how things work out.
SL Demagogue.
Yeah, right. I don't even remember what news.
Sponsored by Telemundo. Oh, that's the dream right there.
We could only hope.
We can only hope. Yeah. So, and the legality of this is real. That this massive chunk is being that it is the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. Their case verdicts are law.
Mm-hmm.
They may have just given a massive portion to Oklahoma to the tribes. The big question is legally, what does this mean for everyone living there?
Yeah.
Are they Native Americans now? Or are they not Native Americans? Are they citizens of that reservation?
Are they expats?
Are they expats? Are they going to be allowed to stay in this new nation? Do they have to leave? Do they pay taxes? What about all the court cases that happened? Are those in the correct jurisdiction? Were those all legal? Are they illegal?
Yeah, it's a decision made on almost like a whim that they did not prepare for whatsoever.
It's really fast. You chop off like 1 million square miles of land out of a state. I don't even know how that was like okay.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't live in Oklahoma. I don't know, like, maybe this, like, even if it was like rightfully theirs, though, the steps should have been taken to transfer the land, as opposed to like this on the hat.
I mean, is that what they're doing now? Or are they going to transfer it like over the next 15 years and this and that?
I have no
Are
idea.
are they any big cities of Oklahoma inside this area?
No,
No.
but it is really close to Oklahoma City.
Oh, so that's now a border town from a new nation.
Almost, yeah. Like there's I couldn't gauge the miles, but I want to say it's like bare minimum 100 miles.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
That's pretty close in this game of things. So yeah, Oklahoma, home of a new nation.
Yeah. So
maybe they'll immediately ask for ratification to become a state. It'll be East Oklahoma and West Oklahoma, and that'll be the 51st state.
Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened. Speaking of strange things that have happened, I don't know. Most of the last 6 months is stranger than 51st state of Oklahoma.
It is. It's very strange. But one of the really strange things I guess I'm starting to like wake up to now. Okay, little motions like defund the police and whatnot that I couldn't have even imagined that being a slogan 6 months ago. But that being said, okay, when they're talking about things like taking away Paw Patrol, like we laugh at that. It's like, what the fuck?
It's real.
Yeah, it's a real thing, and I guess I wasn't wise to it because it's the culture war. And if there's one thing that the left is definitely way better at than the right, it's culture.
And winning battles, they won most of them.
Yeah, they own Hollywood, they own the media.
We nuked them with Trump. That was a big one.
Yeah,
that was a big
Trump
one too.
Was a good counterpunch. But that being said, like this sort of like long game that we're seeing, the left is really good at projecting decades in advance for culture. Like for example, with gay rights, the initial argument was very reasonable. It's like, why do we care who fucks who? So let's illegalize sodomy. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I see your point.
I don't give a fuck who fucks who, so go ahead.
But then the end result being, like, hey, if you can't if you're a Christian baker, you have to bake a cake for gay couples. Like, it ends in, like, a really weird place that you didn't expect it.
I remember 10 years ago, it's especially by the hyper-Christian, hyper-right, it's the gay agenda. I'm like, fucking gays aren't plotting, like, and then we could marry each other and then divorce. Yes, that's what we want. No. But at this point now, the evolution has gotten to such a point, it's like, wait. Why is this happening? I don't remember seeing the last couple moves here. Why is this now the thing?
Mm-hmm.
And what it feels like is that these movements that have started, specifically with gay people and that whole breadth of people as a quadrant, they've always required something to fight for. And once they find something to fight for, well, then they can't let the movement die.
Mm-hmm.
So you need a new enemy, a new bastion of virtue to fight for, and that must keep going. So whenever they get something, there's the next thing. And is it because that the people have been oppressed and they require equality, or do they need to make a problem be so great that they can all rally behind it and fight for it?
Well, I mean, they're human. You need a cause to struggle against as a human.
You need
so...
and it's pretty fucking easy to live in the United States, so
Yep.
it's not a lot of struggle sometimes.
So you got to pick that, and at the it's funny you called it the gay agenda, and that's how like the right labeled it. But really, it's kind of like a left agenda, and the main goal is control, just control over you. If we can tell you what to do, we have power over you, and that's how. If you watch a lot of like leftist speakers, they mention power an awful lot. Like tons.
Well, I mean, AOC, we don't want your money. We want your power. And who also does that? What other type of government does that?
The dictatorship of the proletariat.
Hey, episode 4.
You should watch. I'm telling
Totalitarian communist governments love doing that. It's their bread and butter. It's to tell you what to do.
Yeah,
I just recently shared a meme that involved the coronavirus. Said, fight the COVID-19, report any non-maskers to the Stoochstoffel, the secret police. Because there have been businesses in Nevada that are being put on blast by our governor for not being in compliance. Like it's a shame board. Do not support these businesses because they're not following the rules. The Nazis did that. The Russians, the Bolsheviks did that. The Soviets did that. The Chinese did that.
Yeah, pick any of them.
Khmer
Rouge.
All of them did that. And VA did that. North Korea does it right now. They literally have a term for it. It's called songbun, where every community once a week comes together and rats on everybody else just to make sure everyone's in compliance. And if you don't have anything to say, then you're penalized.
Mm-hmm.
So you must always keep a watchful eye on your neighbor, because if he fucks up, you get rewarded for it.
I mean, think about it. That's like, because it's obviously too hard for the state to take on. But if you get the people to police themselves, that's a dream.
There's not enough government agents and employees to be able to police everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But if they police themselves, you actually do less work, because they'll do it by themselves.
Yeah. That's kind of what I see with like the mask thing. Like it's very like the mask memes are very popular.
They're going around right now. But most things that are hyper left, it's about controlling and making sure that you follow and comply and obey ever-growing list of demands.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the effectiveness.
Doesn't matter the subject either.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't matter what it is, but if you don't comply, then you're an enemy. And there's no retribution for enemies, let alone traitors. They must be removed.
Yeah, with the far left, there's no middle ground. There's not, oh, we disagree, but we can coexist. Coexistence is not a thing.
No, there's yeah. Everything or nothing.
Yeah, with me or against me.
Yeah.
So, and there's a reason why, like, how we've gotten to this point in 2020, because, like, conservative thinkers, like, and Jordan Peterson talks a lot about, like, the kind of minds that gravitate towards these two ideals. And liberals are very good with these, like, sort of things that are hard to measure, like culture and whatnot, but they're very bad with fine details. That's why many leftist regimes crumble on their own, because they are
from the nickels and dimes.
Yeah, they're more about like the ideals and like
the great plan.
Yeah, and the intentions as opposed to the effectiveness. Where culture to a right-wing person is kind of intangible. Like right-wing people like numbers. Like find a liberal accountant, for instance. But they're very good with being conscientious, crunching numbers, like the Nazis and the Japanese, who are both very bad people, but they were highly effective in the short times that they existed because they were more focused on results
and the emotion.
Yeah,
the fever pitch that they can grow. And ironically, they're very different cultures. One of them was born very quickly, and the other one was ancient, was able to be twisted into a certain way.
Yeah,
and then they ran with it. Yeah. It's very strange now. Every day it gets a little harder to be able to speak to somebody else of differing political views.
Oh hell yeah!
Because at a certain point it'll become, it doesn't even matter what the subject is. It doesn't even matter. But if someone takes it on that personal level, then it's immediately like, oh, the opposite is evil. There's no middle ground.
I mean, you might even get like an extreme, like if you're a right-wing person, you only work for right-wing employers and vice versa.
And live in right-wing places and
Mhm.
surround yourself with right-wing people that you can socialize with.
It's like an idealistic segregation, which is not healthy for a
No,
country.
we don't want segregation. The opposite is what we want. We do not want segregation. We need an influx of ideas, left, right, up, down, good and bad. Thomas Jefferson found 200 ways to not make a light bulb.
Thomas Edison.
Thomas Jefferson might have. I mean, it was a long time ago.
He's a pretty smart guy.
He's a pretty smart guy. I don't know. But Thomas Edison also did that.
Yeah.
And learning how to fail is just as important as learning how to win.
Yeah, and like you were saying, kind of like bouncing. It's almost like Edison was bouncing ideas and like finding it like two opposite sides, like conservatives and liberals. Like they need each other to bounce things off of, so that you don't get an extremist like culture.
Like right now.
Like
right now. Because now there's no communication. And in fact, you shouldn't communicate. Because God forbid they talk you into something that you might not want to believe. Because the others that aren't you guys are so effective at communicating that they can get you and brainwash you. Well, then how the fuck are we supposed to settle some differences if by mere speaking, is evil?
Yeah, it is. And speaking of that letter that we talked about last episode, like the letter with 150 signatures, people from the center left, asking, basically saying that cancel culture is toxic. Steven Pinker, one of the names that was mentioned, who is not a right-wing guy at all.
Very analytical man.
Yeah, he's
very super scientisty guy.
Very smart guy, from Harvard. There was an attempt to get him barred from the American Linguistic Society because he put his name on this very bad, not so good letter. Luckily, he's got some pull, so he was able to rebuff it for now.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
But that's everything comes down to it's a matter of time. Last time we talked about Terry Crews.
Yep.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is on hiatus indefinitely right now.
Oh.
Because apparently they have to refilm the entire latest season because it doesn't have anything to do with today's culture. How much do you think Terry Crews will have a strong supporting role in that season?
They'll give him some cameos with no weight.
He'll be in the background. He'll say a couple words or two, but he's not going to have the same thing from his character. Like, that's a character. It's a fictional character. He plays it on a show. It's not a real person. It's fake. It's pretend. It's a TV show.
But he went against the grain,
And
you must be punished.
You must be punished. There's no.
If they let him get away with it, then
It shows they're weak.
Yeah, and maybe other people could do the same, and then you have a problem.
Yeah, so everything must be nipped at the bud immediately. That's the scary thing about it. I think that because now that means like it's two speedboats going away from each other. It was slow. Now it's fast, and it just goes faster. And there's a rope tied in between both of them. So at what point do they reach it till they hit it so fast that it snaps?
I
don't want to see that happen.
Question. I mean, we might even I would say the November election is a good point to look at.
That's the point. Man, every single day it's like, oh man, we're that much closer.
Yep.
We're that much closer. We're in month 7 now. Month 11. We got 5.5 months to go.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I see is okay, Joe Biden, let's be honest, is a Trojan horse for far
somebody
left
else.
ideas.
Yes.
Yeah, because whoever's VP is will definitely be further left than him. And he's even vocalized that he's going to be a transitional figure, which I don't know. I don't know anybody who's ever said that kind of shit. Like usually, if you're running for a position,
does that mean?
You want to be the guy. It means he's making room for the next guy, girl, whatever. That being said, where the folly could be on his part is that let's say he wins, he won't attribute it to the fact that Donald Trump was his opponent, which will be the only reason why he wins. He'll attribute to, oh, well, people must love these ideas, and then he'll try to go gung-ho with this liberal stuff.
He'll have a really interesting 100 days.
Yeah, he will. Very interesting.
Ugh.
And, not to mention, I bet you any money, organizations like BLM are going to threaten mass riots if Donald Trump is reelected.
Oh no, they're not gonna threaten mass riots.
They will.
They're going to mass. There's no talk about negotiation.
Yeah.
There is no union strike. No, they just burned down the house.
I mean, bad for them that Donald Trump, no matter whether or not he will win or lose, will still be president after election night. So he has all the power
for another 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, almost 3. July 27th, correct? Or January 27th is the
Yeah, I'll say
handoff.
it's the 29th.
Yeah, most of January. You get
Mm-hmm.
most of January too. So for the next 3 months, he's still gonna be the guy writing a lot of midnight letters.
Oh yeah, and especially if Trump is on his way out, he will.
He's gonna make it happen, Cap'n.
He'll be balls to the wall, Trump.
Yeah, that might be interesting just to see that
Yeah, that'll be crazy.
Trump in a corner. Like, oh, now, why are you writing like you're running out of time, Trump? Ooh, a little Hamilton reference right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got those now. We're cultured. We're a
Yeah,
cultured
we-
podcast. Yeah, it's speaking of friends of Trump, Goya Foods,
Oh yeah, the Goya cot.
the Goya boycott Goya. That's what I really don't understand because BLM is Black Lives Matter, but I mean, it's an overarching of people oppressed by
Mhm.
white people, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's systematic white oppression, white supremacy. That includes Hispanics. And Trump just signed a massive executive order. I believe it's called like the Hispanic Rehabilitation something. It's very big. Includes hundreds of millions of dollars for Hispanic communities, schools, job opportunities, Hispanic Rehabilitation Initiative. That's what it's called.
Gotcha.
All this great stuff for anybody of Latino descent. And he had a press conference about it. And somebody he brought in was the number one manufacturer of canned and made goods, and I believe in all of Mexico and most of the world, for Hispanic products. Goya Foods.
Mm-hmm.
They make a lot. And he basically said that, oh, yeah, Trump's doing a good job. This is good. This is good for Hispanic people.
Oh, bad.
That was a bad move, bro.
See, he was good up to a point. He helped out the community. He was Hispanic. And then he said Orange Man good. And that is the one thing that you are a heretic as soon as you say that.
Instant, go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not click $200. Can't say it.
Yeah, that poor bastard. So I would, here at Demagogue News, we endorse Goya. Buy as much Goya as you
know what?
can.
Yeah, sponsorship. Goya Foods.
Yeah, definitely Goya Foods.
Goya Foods, sponsor us. We will eat all your food. Like, I will. Tom will. I'm not gonna eat it.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
hey,
yeah.
you make something meat product, I'll have it.
Yeah, you got like
Coconut.
canned
They
ground
got coconut.
beef,
I'll
yeah.
drink coconut water. Yeah, I'll do that because apparently nobody else likes it, including who doesn't like Goya Foods now?
No.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
How dare you?
I
piece
know.
Of shit.
Puerto Rican man.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. What the hell?
Really, he spoke out against Goya.
Yeah.
Dude.
He made a specific tweet
He's
about how Goya's bad.
a theater guy. Stay the fuck out of this arena.
No, everyone has a voice,
Yeah,
Tom.
it's because he
Can't
had
censor
to.
them.
He was quiet until they provoked, and then they were like, "Hey, Lynn, you
You're
gotta ride or
Hispanic,
die.
yeah.
You gotta be us."
Yeah.
And now he's attacking Goya Foods, somebody who is employing Hispanics, somebody who's giving back to the community, and it's all for naught,
All for
according
naught.
to them.
Because you said Orange Man wasn't that bad.
He didn't even say Orange Man good. He said things that Orange Man is doing are good.
Well, he said, thank you for your leadership.
Oh boy.
He said, we pray this will, help the Hispanic people. So that's something that Trump did is good. So he basically fucked up. He fucked up pretty good.
Well,
Yeah.
luckily for us, boycotts are seldom effective.
Yeah, people buy things whether or not they're quote unquote bad or good.
Yeah. they
People still
just-
buy things.
Maybe for like a day you'll be like, I'm not buying Goya. And then you'll be like, damn, though, that pineapple was fucking
I
dope."
fucking lit.
Yeah.
Oh, the mango juice?
Yeah.
That shit's dope. I remember having the nectarine juice. The Goya is in the blue thing.
Dude, that's good as
It's
shit.
good as shit. Shit's dope. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Of the many things going on now, yet another feather in the hat of 2020. Hispanic food bad.
yeah, if it's orange.
If it's orange.
Dude,
though.
if they do special orange can editions, I would like
Ooh,
buy that
let's
shit out.
invest in that. Invest in Goya.
Oh,
there you
for
go.
sure.
There you go.
Oh man, you got anything else, Steve?
I think it's the bulk of it. I mean, we've been going for a hot minute now.
Yeah, we have been. It was a good episode 40.
Yeah, decent episode 40. Yeah. I mean, got any tips for people in the coming days? You have any expectations of what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's 2020. Things change constantly. But I would say stock up on ammo and alcohol.
And Goya frijoles negros. Get yourself some black beans from the good old Goya. This is Demagogue News. Find us on Facebook, Instagram. Keep your head on a swivel.